Hi Pre-L students, this is Mrs. Jones again. We are starting a new unit today and we're going to be working on this for the next couple of weeks. So we are working all on data. And our first piece of this unit is working with statistical questions. So on this next slide, I'm going to put up a column of questions over here that are statistical questions. And then over here on this white side, they are going to be non-statistical questions. I want you to read through the questions and try to figure out what do the questions over here have in common, what do the questions over here have in common, and how are the two columns different, okay? And then I want you to try to figure out what do you think makes a question a statistical question. Okay, so once I put up the questions, I need you to pause this video and read through them and then think about those two things. So go ahead and pause. Now, one of the things that I hope you noticed when you were reading through these questions is that all of the questions over here that are statistical say phrases like typical sixth grader or average sixth grader, whereas all of the questions that are non-statistical say you. So I noticed that they are saying similar questions, right? These are both about how many hours a person sleeps at night, but they are addressing them to a different subject. This one is addressed to the average sixth grader, whereas this one is just addressed to you. That's one of the big differences between these two columns. You may have noticed some other things, but that's the one that I want to point out. So there are three characteristics of a statistical question that we need you to know. The first one is that it must have a numerical answer to be a statistical question. That just means that it has to have an answer that is a number. The second is that it must have a variety of answers. So we have to be able to ask a question and get a range of different answers. If it does not have a variety, then it is not a statistical question. So an example would be if I asked a question, but that question was just a fact and there is only one answer to it, that is not statistical, even if the answer to that question is a number. And the last characteristic is that it must be asking a group of people or things. So on the last slide, all of our questions were addressed to average sixth graders, which means that we would have to go and ask lots of sixth graders that question and then come up with an average for our answer. It could also be that you want to research a question, so maybe you want to find out the average of the 50 states, or you want to find the average of football players. And so you're going to do some research and get lots of different pieces of information and then come up with an average from it that way. And then there's one more that we want you to know. This is just a helpful hint that these questions that are statistical usually use the word average or typical, but it does not necessarily have to. So if you see the word average or typical in a question, that's a good hint that it is a statistical question, but it doesn't have to be there. So this question is an example of a statistical question. How long does it take the average Waukee Middle School student to get home from school? This is a statistical question because it has a numerical answer. You would answer this by saying 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes, however long it takes you to get home from school. It has a variety of answers. We have some students that live really close to the school and they can get home in 5 to 10 minutes. And we have some students that are on a bus for a lot longer than that and they might take 30 or 40 minutes to get home. We would have to ask a group of students. We want to know the average Waukee Middle School student. So we would need to talk to sixth graders and seventh graders to get this different answer. And then just as a bonus, it uses that word average right here. And so that's a good hint that it is statistical. This question is not statistical. What is your favorite color? Now, why is this non-statistical? Lots of different reasons. First one, it's not a numerical answer. What's my favorite color? Blue. That's not a number, so that doesn't work. It's also only asking one person. A big hint, anytime you see you or your in the question, it is a non-statistical question. So I want you to think about whether you think the question that I show you is statistical or non-statistical and make sure you have a reason why. So who is the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings? That one is non-statistical because it just has one answer. It's not a number. It would be somebody's name. I don't know who the quarterback of the Vikings is, but it's definitely a non-statistical question. Here's your next one. What is the average age when a child loses his or her first tooth? That one is statistical because we would answer it with a number. It has a variety of answers. We would have to ask a group of people. We are just asking a child, so it could be any person that we would ask, when did you lose your first tooth, and then come up with an average for our answer. And just for the bonus, it has that word average in it. All right, this time I want to try to rewrite the questions to make them statistical. Okay, so you don't actually have to write it down if you don't want to, but you can just think about what you think a statistical version of this question would be. So, how many siblings do you have? That's non-statistical, and I know right away because it says the word you, so it's not asking a group. But you would answer this question with a number, so that's okay. And there is a variety of answers, so that's okay. So really the only thing that we need to change is who we're asking, and we can ask any group of people. And it would probably be helpful to stick the word average or typical somewhere in your question. So go ahead and think, how would you rewrite this? You may have thought of something like this. On average, how many siblings does a middle schooler have? Or you could use a different subject. You could say, how many siblings does a typical actress have? Okay, you could use whatever subject of people that you want to use. Try this next one. Do you like to play video games? Okay, again, I know right away that this is non-statistical because it says you, so it's just asking one person, so I need to change that. But there's another problem with this question. How would you answer this question? You would answer it with yes or no. Neither of those are a number. So we need to change the question so that it's still about video games, but it needs to be something that we would answer with a number. We need to change that it's about a group of people instead of just you, and we need to probably include the word average or typical in it. So think, how would you rewrite this? I rewrote it as, how many minutes does an average sixth grader play video games in a night? So I changed the you to average sixth grader. I made it a question that you would answer with a number by asking how many minutes. There would be a variety of this. We have some sixth graders that don't play video games, so their answer would be 0. And some of you guys really love playing video games, and so your answer might be a couple of hours. Okay, so there's a big range there. And then it also included that word average just to help make it a little bit more clear. All right, I want to look at how the data for statistical and non-statistical questions presents differently. So we did a survey with some students earlier this year on a bunch of different questions that are both statistical and non-statistical, and then Google Forms creates these graphs for us. So if we look over here, what is the typical favorite color of a sixth grader? Well, that's non-statistical because colors aren't numbers. Okay, so you can see in the graph that these are non-numerical answers, and that's why we have all of these different colors and all of these different bars showing that one person said each of these colors a bunch of different times. Compare that to over here, on average, what is the height of a sixth grader? Okay, they converted their height into inches, and so you can see all of the different heights in inches on the x-axis, and they're all nicely grouped together here. Okay, so you can see how that data is different, that these bars can get a lot taller and they're grouped a lot better, whereas over here there's a lot of different individual answers. Let's compare these two. So what is the average sixth grader's favorite book? Sounds really good, but it's not statistical because these again are non-numerical answers. It just has to list out all 75 students' favorite books. It can't figure out if they are the same or not. As compared to how many siblings does a typical sixth grader have, again, it has all of these different numbers that students answered with on the x-axis, and then it's able to group it together to say 26 students have 2 siblings, 26 students have 1 sibling, well, it should be 27, I don't know why those are separate, and so on. So we can see the clear difference there. Again, on the left, this one it was able to make into a circle graph because we have just a few different responses, but again, these are non-numerical answers. These percentages can show up, but that purple section is what percent of students live in Waukee. Okay, and Waukee is a non-numerical answer. So which town does the average sixth grader live in? That is not statistical. But what is the typical number of pets a sixth grader has is statistical. Again, we have the numbers on the x-axis and it grouped them all together for us. For our last example, what is the age of an average sixth grader? Now, this one tricks students a lot because it sounds like a statistical question. It uses the word average. Ages are a number. It's asking a group of people, it's asking sixth graders, but we can see in the graph there's not a variety of answers. Because we limited it to sixth graders are either 11, 12, or 13. There's not variation there. So 3 different numbers is not enough variety. We are looking for something a lot more like what's on the right. How many pencils does a typical sixth grader have in their binder, where we have all of these different answers, and you can see that there is much more of a variety. All right, so next, you can rewatch this video as much as you need to, and then I'm going to have another video up that talks about samples, populations, and bias. So when you're ready, go ahead and click on that next video. I'll talk to you soon.